Hi everyone, I'm Tara and this is Loving Ocean Tarot. Welcome. Today I have a pick a card reading for you guys. And we're gonna ask the question of what is it that you have within you that you can draw confidence from? In this reading, I really just want to look into what characteristics do you have, like what strengths do you have already in your possession that you perhaps are not really turning your attention towards, or things that you can actually derive like a lot more confidence and pleasure and joy from. We could be looking at things that you already know that you possess, or things that you haven't really thought about yet, or things that you haven't discovered the potential for. So as you can see, we have 3 options for you here today, and I'm gonna show you like the crystals like up close so you can like make a decision. Take as much time as you need to pick your pile. You can pick more than one pile if you feel drawn towards more than one. And yeah, let me show you the crystals now. So for pile number 1, we have this piece of raw black tourmaline. For pile number 2, we have this angelite. It's like a little cube. And for pile number 3, we have this malachite. So take as much time as you need to pick your reading, and I'm gonna get started with pile number 1. Hi pile number 1s! For those of you that picked this black tourmaline, this is your reading. Let's see what cards we have for you. I'm gonna put the crystal there actually. Yeah, that's better. So the first card we have is Star Brothers, Horus Energy, Protection, Loyalty, Safety, and Trust. Then we have Death. I am learning that endings are merely beginnings. And we have 2 tarot cards as well. We have the Princess of Pentacles. This is the Mystic Mondays Tarot. And the last card we have for you is the Emperor. I love the shine on these cards. This is my newest deck. I've been interested in the Ethereal Visions Illuminated Tarot for quite some time, and when I learned that they had a Luna edition which is more diverse, I was very interested in picking that one up. So yeah, these are the 4 cards we have for you. Okay, so immediately the first thing that's sort of drawing my energy right now is the Death card here. And I feel like maybe like you are feeling like a little confused about how a Death card can show up as a talent or a characteristic that you have that should give you confidence. But I feel like there's like this sort of theme here. I don't know how to... Okay, let's figure this out together. So with this, sort of what I'm seeing, like with I am learning that endings are merely beginnings, I think you have this really immense power to I feel like you have this like immense power to transform yourself over and over again. And what's really interesting is that this transformation, you would sort of assume that a transformation means that you move through these different kinds of stages or periods of your personality and your being and yourself, but there's still like this level of like this really fundamental sort of stability that you possess that gives you the power you need to go through these transformations. I feel like a lot of your transformations in life might not have been things that you wanted yourself. Like maybe several things happened that were out of your control that forced you to transform and forced you to go through like this threshold and enter this new level of, you know, new level of this, of your personality and of yourself. um but that's like what I'm seeing, like with the Star Brothers card here and the Emperor here, is that you have this really stable fundamental sort of sense of self, or like a core that is so strong that it lends you the power you need for these transformations, like I said earlier. um and I don't know, like if you guys like, I hope that you guys already sort of know this. I think like even if you haven't really accessed this part of you that gives you this power, you'll find that, like, you know, in retrospect, when you look back at like the past and look back at how you've gone through things and how you've survived things, even, you have this sort of almost like amusement at like how easy you feel about it now. And it's like, like I remember that feeling so tough, like when I was going through it, but like right now I look back and I don't feel it. Like I feel like I've just successfully moved past that. And even like I see this like sort of these layers coming through even in this like Princess of Pentacles card here. I don't know if you can see, but there's like these layers in this ground, and I feel like no matter how many transformations like life throws your way, or no matter how many transformations that you yourself decide to put yourself through, there's this like stability, there's this like core belief, this core understanding, this core just sense of self that lends you so much almost safety. I'm hearing like the reason you can even survive this many transformations, like the thing is, like as human beings we're all meant to transform, nobody's meant to stay the same, we're meant to change with time. But I feel like some people go through more transformations than others. Some people just experience things that make them transform or that require them to transform. Some people go through the kinds of hardship that require change. And I think like you might have, I feel like this group, like this pile, you guys are people that have experienced hardship. You guys are people, like everybody's experienced like some level of hardship, but I feel like there are times when you guys are like, oh my god, like when will it end? Like, you know, there's always something new. But I think like that could be like another thing sort of lending to your like ease and amusement when you look back, because you're just so focused on like who you are currently. You're so focused on like this new state that you're currently in. Pile one, like you guys have, like when I talk about like your stable core, your core sense of self that lends you safety, like it's coming through like with the Star Brothers card here. Like when they're talking about like protection, loyalty, safety, and trust, I feel like you guys have this like immense loyalty towards yourself. And it's not even like, it's a very strange kind of loyalty, because again, like with transformation, you think that you're technically leaving things behind and you're like, you know, just moving on, moving past things. But this part of you, this core stable sense of self that you have, is something that you really treasure. And this is something that I feel is like actually like divinely protected. Like I know a lot of people don't really like to contend with the idea that our souls choose to go through certain hardships in life, but that's something that I truly believe. And I feel like in this life, like you knew what you were signing up for. You knew that you would need to like go through a lot of transformations. You have to put in like a lot of work and change yourself over and over, almost like a chameleon trying to fit its surroundings, but like adaptable. And I feel like chameleon isn't the best example, because when I think of a chameleon, I think of somebody who changes colors depending on which situation they're in, but you have a level of authenticity that comes from the stable core that you have. And that's what you're loyal towards. You're loyal towards who you truly think you are. And I feel like you have this belief that it could be like a spiritual belief. You have like this understanding of the world that really lends to who you are. Like, you could believe in God, you could be very religious or spiritual, you could be someone that suppose you have like a certain talent, like maybe you're really into music, like you're a musician and you're an artist, and for you, like, music is like, I don't know how to say it, but like the language of the world. Or maybe you're someone that believes that love is the ultimate reality. Like, you have this one really like core belief that forms your most innate identity, and you know that you're never gonna lose that, because it's like you have like this kind of ownership over it. You've I don't want to say the word conquer, because conquer implies this sort of like conquest of like taking something, but like you've always had it, and you take full authority. Like, you can put it down in writing that this is who I am. And a lot of people, when they try to describe themselves, they maybe think about like their likes and their dislikes, or what they're into at the moment, or like even their expression, like their sense of expression, their sense of style. Everybody has these different ways of describing themselves, but like when people ask you like who you are, like, hey, like, tell us more about you, I feel like even though you might answer a certain way, you always have this knowing that there is something underneath the surface that is just so strong, that maybe is not the most easily communicated, that cannot be described in terms of your likes and dislikes, that cannot be described in terms of your relationships or your sense of style, your preferred method of expression. It's just something so innate, and that's why I feel like it's coming from this like belief, like this spiritual belief, a religious belief, or something like that, because there's so much power here. And this is something that should really give you confidence, because like I feel like sometimes when you're going through the motions, you don't really kind of stop and really think about just how powerful that is, to have this stable sense of self. And I feel like this is something that should really give you the confidence. It's completely normal to like feel fear in situations. It's completely normal to be nervous about things and to be anxious about things. But I feel like a lot of that kind of anxious energy, this nervous energy, could be transmuted into, I don't know, like into this kind of confidence if you pay attention to the fact that you have something that cannot be taken away from you. Because like at the end of the day, what is anxiety? What is nervousness? Like, you always like have this fear that maybe you won't get something, or something will be taken away from you, or something won't fall into your hands when you need it, or no matter how much you work, you won't be able to get something. So that's what our fears usually are about. So what I'm seeing is that like if you really tap into the fact that you have something that nobody can take away from you, that you have something that is divinely protected, that you have something that will withstand every transformation and every hardship you face in life, you're gonna feel so much more ease when you deal with life. You're gonna feel so much more comfort. You're gonna feel so comfortable even approaching your next transformations. It's like, it's such a good energy actually. Like, I feel like, okay, another thing that I'm seeing, like especially with like Star Brothers and this card, is making me think that this kind of stable sense of self that you have could also be because of family. Like, maybe you have like a really strong family unit, and it doesn't necessarily have to be the family that you're born into. It could even be chosen family. Like, you've built like a really strong group of friends, like people who are like your ride or die no matter what. And that's why like no matter what you face in life, you know that there's something that is always there to hold you. You know, there's people that will always have your back. I'm also seeing like a lot of like masculine energy in the cards here. I know we have like the Princess of Pentacles, or we have like the Emperor, we have the Star Brothers here, we have the red coloring on this Death card, and even like the Princess of Pentacles, like, which is also like the Page of Pentacles in other decks. It's about like learning, and it's about like working at a craft and working at something that you know have sort of committed to almost. Even this card is giving me this like masculine energy, not only because of like the coloring of like the clothing that the girl is wearing, but also because of like these levels that I talked about earlier, and how like they represent this sort of movement. And I feel like masculine energy is about movement. It's about like moving in this like trajectory, like forward moving trajectory, and like doing things. I feel like feminine energy is more receiving, whereas masculine energy is more like giving energy outwards. So I feel like another thing that like you can sort of fall back on is that you have like the bases covered when it comes to having your masculine energy. And as you know, like all of us have to sort of be a balance of both feminine and masculine energies. So this is something that comes naturally to you, like this masculine energy of like moving through things, and of putting this energy out there. Like all that comes naturally to you and should give you confidence. Like you can approach situations with this ease, because I'm seeing this like this very like confident person like moving through life. And it's like I'm seeing like almost this image of like, if you imagine like every moment of life to be the sort of like page, almost like the pages are falling away and folding around you as you move in this like forward trajectory, and each page represents this sort of period of your life that asked you to transform, and you're transforming and you're moving, and yet there's this stability to you. And I think that should lend you confidence that you are someone that can move with ease, because you have a stable sense of self. You have this knowledge of who you are. You have an understanding, a very deep set understanding of what you stand for and what it means to exist as a person. That's like, this is really lovely energy. Also, like black tourmaline has to do with protection. So you are really like divinely protected here. Like your sense of your core self, your soul even, is extremely protected. And no matter what you go through in life, you just need to remember that, yeah, like nothing can take away who you are. Yeah, nothing can take away who you are. And like no matter how much fear that you feel in life, like try to allow that knowledge that you cannot be taken away from yourself. Like try to let that come into you and just settle itself into you, because that's gonna make you feel so much more comfortable, so much more at ease. Before I end this reading, I want to just take like one little message from this The Universe Has Your Back Oracle card deck. So yeah, let's see. What message do we have for pile number 1? Okay. My vibes speak louder than my words. That's literally exactly what I was talking about when I was like, when people ask you like, you know, who are you? Like it's often like hard to describe yourself, because even though you have like a pretty strong idea of who you are, a lot of that is not very easily communicable, because it's not in terms of the general ways in which people describe themselves. Your sense of self, like you understand yourself on a very vibrational level, and for that to come to this level of like human language and like words, that takes like effort, and it makes you think a little bit, and that's why maybe you might find yourself like resorting to very almost superficial descriptions of yourself at times, because you just don't know like how can I convey this. And I feel like people understand this, like the people that are important to you, like your circle, your inner circle, the people that are your ride or dies, they see this part of you. They see this part of you that is just beyond words. Yeah. And that's the thing, like this is what you sort of need to like think about, like your vibes speak louder than your words. Like even the words that you're telling yourself, even like if you're feeling anxious, or if you're feeling nervous, or like suppose you have to I don't know, go for like a job interview and you're like, oh my god, like what if I don't get it? Or if you're taking taking a test and you're like, oh, what if I don't pass? Your vibes speak louder than your words, as in like the part of you that is deeply set, that is unshakable, that's gonna come through for you. So just tap into that energy. Like don't give in to the words that you're saying to yourself either. Let your energy just speak for you. So yeah, that is what I have for you guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked, give the video a like, and you can subscribe also if you would like to watch more readings. Thank you so much again for watching and letting me read for you. Bye bye. Hi, pile number 2. This is for those of you that chose the Angelite crystal. And I'm gonna put that there for you guys to see. Let's see what cards we have for you. So we have Water Your Garden, Nourishment, Body Care, Tenderness, Rest. That is the card. Then we have Abundance. I am a limitless being and I can manifest whatever I desire in this physical reality. The next card we have is the Nine of Cups. I find the Nine of Cups so cute in this deck. I don't know, it's very cute. And the last card we have is the Star. This is another beautiful card. Wow. We have a lot of like pinky reds going on here, so that's fun. Yeah, so let's get into it. Ooh, what I'm seeing for you guys is that you are people that really take care of yourselves. And I'm seeing that like not only with like Water Your Garden, but also like with the Star and like with Abundance here. I feel like when people see you, they see that you're someone that takes care of yourself. And I don't even mean like in terms of like actual like physical care, like if you have like a good skincare routine, or if you work out or eat well. I don't just mean that. I feel like you guys, like even if you do those things, what's coming across is not particularly like the physical body care, but what that sort of signifies for you. And I feel like for you it's almost like this ritual that you do, this I'm almost like getting this like image of somebody like worshipping themselves. And I know that sounds like kind of self-obsessed or something, and it's not that way at all. It's more like you understand the gift that your body is, you understand the gift that life is, and you want to take care of it. And even this worship that you do of yourself is more like a ritualistic, like almost like a meditation I'm seeing. It's very like selfless almost, like you're doing it because you want to care for your body, not because you think you're like the best person in the room, which I don't think that there's anything wrong about thinking you're the best person in a room, as long as it's like healthy, you know. We don't want to be completely disregarding other people. And anyway, we're getting off track. But yeah, like even like the Star card, like oh my god, she is gorgeous. I love the art of this card, it is so pretty. But that's what, you know, this is what I'm seeing, like this looks like somebody that has just like washed their hair, but like it's almost like she's just not focusing on that part. She's just focusing on how the entire process is this like meditation, this practice, this ritual, that it's connecting her deeply to something beyond hers. It's something, it's like it's beyond your body. You're not just doing it for your body, you're doing it for like how it helps you as a human being. You're doing it because it's it brings you clarity. It gives you like, your mental health feels way better. On a soul level, you feel satisfied with your life. And I think like that's what this is all about, like, nourishment, body care, tenderness, and rest. Like, this tenderness word is really coming out to me, because it's like you're being so gentle with your body. It's like it's a gift. It's almost like it's a gift that you've been given, that you really want to be like gentle with and tender with. I almost see like this like connection between like the star card here and like this really bright star in the sky that you can see, maybe. Yeah. Like with the star card, she's looking like upwards in this like meditative like trance almost, and this person is in this like water body, and they're also looking, I feel like they're looking at that star, and it's like almost as worship of this thing externally. Like, you understand that you are one soul. Like, people talk about like how humans are like born of stardust or something like that, or in Indian philosophy we have this concept of Brahman and then Atman, and Brahman is like this collective soul, and Atman is like the individual version of that collective soul. It doesn't mean that there's any difference between the two. It's just that this is, Atman is the form it takes when it enters an individual, when it becomes an individual. It is still made of the same stuff as the collective soul. And I feel like that's what this is. Like, I think you have this sort of connection to the divine, and that's what I'm seeing with like abundance as well, because you are, that's what, like, I'm a limitless being. Like, you understand that even though you are this one person, your connection to this like one collective soul makes you feel so free and so limitless. And I feel like people see that in you. People, like, when you walk by, like, people see this kind of gentle confidence that you possess. And I feel like this is something that took time to cultivate. And it could even be that, like, suppose you started out with like a certain fitness regimen to feel good about yourself, and maybe you didn't even have like this kind of divine belief or whatever, but like you started working on yourself, and you began to realize like how you were changing with time, and not just like the strength that you felt in your body, but also the strength you felt in your mind, and how maybe peaceful and meditative you got while you worked out, and how good your body felt, and how good your soul felt, and how good your life felt, and how you felt like you could literally do anything, and everything became so easy and nicely flowing. And this thing, like, I can manifest whatever I desire in this physical reality. I feel like when people think of manifestation, they think of something just like appearing like out of nowhere, but a manifestation requires work, and I feel like you're somebody that knows this. And I feel like something that might irk you a little bit is when people sort of just assume that you're just lucky, or that maybe you just have maybe you've had things handed to you, or maybe, I don't know, like, you have good genetics or whatever, I don't know. But like, that irks you because only you know the true amount of effort that you've put into having everything that you currently have. And the Nine of Cups especially, like, it also talks about like having everything that you feel like you need, but it's not the Ten of Cups, right? So, and that's not because it's like a lack of something, but rather you always know that there's more to grow. Like, it's not because you want to get things, but because you know that this is like the natural progression, that you're going to grow as a human being, and there's always going to be new levels of satisfaction and just fulfillment that you can feel. that's the thing, like, I'm a limitless being. You understand the limitlessness of your energy. And this is something that I feel like you can really kind of take confidence from. Like, and if this is something that you've ever doubted, here's your reminder: you are a limitless being. You can manifest whatever you desire. And not just because, you know, your energy is in alignment with that which you want to manifest, but also because you're so able to put in the work that the things you desire need for them to come into your life. I feel like this is also like a very like romantic sort of energy, and it's almost like a romance with yourself. And I think people like look at you and they're like, oh my god, this person is like so confident, but like they're not like imposing, you know, like some people, like when they're confident, like sometimes they could be loud, or you know, when they enter the room they could like really fill up the room. Your presence is gentler than that, but like people hold you in like a certain, like people hold you in awe, people admire you, and those people that have seen the amount of work you put into yourself, they really like respect you for it. And they see how like the person that you are right now is brick by brick built by your own hands. I want to get like another card for you guys, like with this the universe has your back oracle deck, and then I'll see if I have like any extra messages coming through. But ooh, that was a strange shuffle, my bad. So what message do we have for pile number 2? Okay, wait, I'm also seeing like, if you're someone that hasn't really realized that you have this energy, like suppose you are working on yourself in a certain way. Again, I'm gonna give like the working out example. And you know, like I feel like when people work out, especially when they're just starting out, they tend to have this idea of what they want to achieve, and it could be like a certain body type, a certain weight. And I think like you sort of need to remember that like every body is different. And like I know like we see like a lot of images like online about like these very ideal body types and these very ideal lifestyles and everything. And I just want to let you know that like just because you don't have what is considered like conventionally attractive or like conventionally desirable doesn't mean that what you have isn't also desirable. And I feel like maybe there could be some of you that are like really oblivious to how people admire you for the life that you're building for yourself. And what it's like you have your sights on something else like completely different, but like even the place where you're at right now has a lot of like gentle power in it that you might not be seeing. And I feel like you need to really like take confidence in the present, take confidence in the now. Because like I know that I talked about like how this is like it's almost like a very romantic energy with the self. But again, like I'm coming back to this like thing that I talked about of how this is not the 10 of cups. And while I feel that while like some of you are viewing that in like this a gentler like healthy way, there might be some of you that are actually feeling the lack of, you know, what you actually want to end up achieving. And I think maybe in those senses like I wish for you to be like gentler with yourself and see how what you already have is also something incredibly like worth celebrating and worth enjoying. Like please enjoy what you've worked towards. Like don't always just like keep thinking of like the final end result you want to accomplish and then stop yourself from enjoying the present. Like enjoy the present, please. Like enjoy the lifestyle you've built, enjoy the body that you have right now, enjoy every part of it. people see this, like people see your beautiful energy, people see the love that you put into yourself, people see the work that you put into yourself. And I feel like your presence itself is like, has a very like a really beautiful, almost calming effect on people around you, because of the admiration they have for you. But it could be that you are not yourself actively recognizing that and seeing yourself as worthy of admiration. So you need to see that you're definitely worthy of the admiration you're receiving. So what is the message we have for pile number 2? There's a lot that are coming out. Does that want to come out? It did come out. The universe works fast when I'm having fun. Oh, this is kind of exactly what I talked about right now. That enjoy the present moment. Like, you might have this like sort of end goal that you want to get to, but if you stop yourself from like enjoying the present moment, it's almost gonna feel like you're so much farther away from like the end result. So really enjoy it. Like, enjoy the admiration you're receiving, enjoy that people love your company, and enjoy that you have this beautiful life that you've built for yourself. Enjoy every minute of it, because that's when things are gonna feel like they're flowing. Because like, the universe doesn't just want you to level up always, and the universe doesn't want you to constantly be learning something or striving for something. The universe also wants you to have the human experience, and the human experience has a lot of fun in store. So really do that, because if you're not like having fun, it's almost like you're holding back on like a very authentic part of you, and a part of you that really desires expression. And that's gonna keep you stuck, because it's like, if you need to like check all the boxes before you can move to the next level, you need to check all the boxes, you know. And if one of the boxes is fun, you gotta have fun. So yeah, have fun. You are a beautiful person, and you have a beautiful energy, and I think you should spend some time like reveling in your own beautifulness. But yeah, that is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching and for letting me read for you. Like the video if you enjoyed the reading, if it resonated with you, and subscribe if you'd like to see more. Bye bye. Hey pile number 3s. This is for you that chose this beautiful malachite crystal. I hope you can see like all the colors. Oh, how do I show you the colors? But yeah, it's gorgeous. Yeah, and I'm gonna keep it there so you can continue to look at it if you want to. Let's get into your cards. We have Forge, Don't Follow, Pave a New Path, Be the Leader You Wish You Had. Then we have Failure. I understand that a mistake is only an opportunity to learn. Also, you guys are the only pile that I took 2 of these tarot cards for, from the Mystic Mondays tarot. So yeah, let's see. Well, these are all reversed because I was like keeping them separately, but these came out upright. Yeah, so we have the High Priestess. And we have the Seven of Wands. I'm gonna keep that down there. The last card we have for you is the Knight of Pentacles. So something that I'm sort of immediately being drawn towards right now is the Failure card. If you guys were also drawn to pile number 1, maybe you'd like to check that out, because they also had like an intense card for this one. But don't be disheartened when you see this, because the way that it connects to these other cards that I'm seeing right now is really powerful. And this also says, I understand that a mistake is only an opportunity to learn. Now, don't be alarmed when I say this, but wait, this is like, there's some light shining on here. Where should I keep this? I'm gonna keep this here. Yeah, don't be alarmed when I say this, but you guys are people that are meant to go through failures, because each failure that you experience is literally an opportunity for you to learn more about yourself and to learn more about what really drives you and what brings you a lot of passion. And I remember I was thinking about these exact themes just this afternoon for some reason, and I feel like it makes so much sense now because it was for you guys. And I was thinking about how we have this idea of what it means to be successful, and often it's like, okay, like, you know, you go through like a bunch of struggle, then you become successful at 30 or 40 or 50, and then that you remain successful for the rest of your life. And that's sort of like how we think of success stories. And even like, you know, in media we have this thing of like this happily ever after, or like the movie always cuts off like when the protagonist wins at something, you know. And that isn't really how life is. Life is about ups and downs. Like, it's natural to fail at something, and no matter what people might assume and no matter what people might expect from you and from your success, they have absolutely no say over what actually happens in your life. And you are the only person that is first off living your life, but that can get the most out of it. So like, if your life is asking for you to experience failure, then that's gonna happen. And the thing is, you're gonna be better off for it. Because what I'm seeing with the High Priestess is that you're somebody that is highly in tune with yourself. I feel like there's times when you feel like you have to stray from your intuition and do something that you don't exactly feel like doing because people have a certain expectation from you, and you do end up like picking up like these different paths. Like, suppose like you really want to be an artist, but the people around you expect you to have a more practical, a stable, a safe job, and because you sort of give in to their idea of what you should achieve, you're like, okay, you know what, let me give it a shot, and you end up taking this job that it in no way is fulfilling. And yeah, it works for a while, but like, you know, in somewhere down the line, like you feel like you've reached a dead end, or you feel like you're failing at your job, and that's because that's something that's not meant for you. And I feel like there's something that you might be susceptible to, like giving in to other people's expectations and then hoping that if you do what they ask for, that things will work out. But the thing is, like, that's not how it works. Like, people can ask you to do like a million things, but like if those million things are not authentic to who you are not meant for you, then they're not going to work out. And especially like with the High Priestess again, like I'm seeing that you guys are people that you have a calling that is very uncommon. Like, a lot of people around you haven't really explored the path that you want to try, and that's why we have this card here about forge, don't follow. Pave a new path, be the leader you wish you had. And that's the thing, like I feel like this part of you wants advice. There's a part of you that wants leadership, that wants nourishment, and that's why you end up following things that people tell you to follow, but none of it feels right because none of it's meant for you. And it's only because you're sort of desiring this kind of the comfort of advice and someone's stable authority that you're doing things that you don't really want to do. But like that's what this is saying, like get out of your comfort zone. You are extremely capable. And this failure card is just making me think of like somebody that keeps like standing back up. And I feel like you keep standing back up because there's a part of you that maybe you haven't realized, but there's a part of you that knows that you're meant for something different, and it's constantly standing up no matter how many times you fall, because it's waiting, because it knows that there's a time when it's gonna get its time in the light. And that's why we have the Knight of Pentacles here. The Knight of Pentacles is somebody that is in it for the long haul. This is the face of someone who knows that they're about to step out on a long journey, and that it's going to be extremely rewarding when they get to the end. And it's like they're taking like this breath, and they're like before setting out, before taking a step. And that's what this is, like the Seven of Wands. Like you are gonna have your moment of victory. You are gonna have this moment where you're able to stand firm with what you believe and stand firm with what you really want. But there's gonna be like a lot of obstacles in your way that you need to sort of strike down. And a lot of the obstacles come from the expectations people place on you, yes, but also this need in you to appease those people. And what I feel like you need to be getting confidence from here is this part of you. Is this part of you that knows how to stand back up, that knows how to be patient, that knows how to wait for what is right. We all have these levels to ourself, to our being, to our personality. And I feel like you have this like part of you that you haven't really reached yet, because before you can even reach this part of you, the topper the upper layers have already made a commitment to something else. So whenever you're sort of given this opportunity that allows you to explore the part of you that is sure about what they want, it's almost like that opportunity is snatched away from you out of fear, or out of your own like nervousness, and out of your need to appease the people that want you to do something different. And I feel like that's what, like, you're being asked to be patient, and because there's a part of you that really knows how to be patient. And I feel like you sense it too, like you sense this sort of like different energy bubbling underneath the surface, and you haven't really known what it is because you haven't given yourself the time to properly access it. But I feel like when you access this part of you, that is patient, that is persevering, that is incredibly intuitive, that is in it for the long haul, you're going to be able to unleash so much confidence in yourself, and so much faith in yourself as well. This is also making me think of like Wicked, the movie. I don't know if you guys watched the movie. And it's like, I mean, this is like a spoiler for those of you that haven't watched it. I mean, I think you guys might have watched it yet. You might have also seen like the earlier Wicked films. But at the end of like the first Wicked movie, the one with Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo, there's this like calling that she has, and she is remaining so true and so authentic to it. And she's like, I know, like, you might not come with me, like, I love you, I know that you love me, but I need to do what I need to do, and I need to fly. And it's like nobody's done what she's done, but she has this faith in herself. And throughout her life, she's experienced like a lot of failure, technically, like, you know, she's experienced like being lonely, she's experienced being misunderstood, she's experienced being even ridiculed. And initially maybe she would have tried to like fit in and appease certain people in her family and in her life. But over time she realized that she has a power that literally nobody else has, and that she needs to stay true to it. And I feel like that's what I'm seeing for you guys. Like, you just need to figure out how to access this part of you. And I think a lot of that will have you facing the fear of disappointing people around you, and the fear of not accomplishing what people expect. And when you go past the fear and you're like, you know what, yeah, I've decided that for now you guys are going to be disappointed with me, and that's fine. It's going to give you this time and this opening into yourself to discover what you really want, and it's going to help you like forge this path. This part of you is waiting, and I feel like the reason why this part of you that keeps helping you stand back up when you've taken a fall, this part of you is waiting because they know you're gonna stand up for them at one point. They know that there's gonna be a day when you're like, enough is enough, I'm gonna do what I want. I need to get in touch with myself, and I need to do what's best for me, and I need to do what is authentic to my being. Oh my god, even malachite, like the stone, has to do with like immense transformation, and transformation can only come through failure. Transformation can only come through disappointing people or failing in other people's eyes. Like, maybe a lot of this failure is not even something that you're failing at, but something that people are just perceiving you to be failing at. But rather what it is that you're taking this opportunity that's being given to you. You're being true to yourself, and you're being honest with yourself, and you're telling yourself like, yeah, I got you, you know, I have me, and that's all I really need to have this passion express itself in my life. There's a lot of freedom that comes with something like this, and I feel like it's a freedom that you're not really used to, but it's a freedom that's gonna feel so good. It's gonna feel a little scary at first, but it's gonna also feel so exciting and so exhilarating. And I am so excited for you. Like, I'm just looking at like this image again, and like, look at this like woman here, and like her flowing skirt, and it's feeling so like cold wind. Like, that's what I'm feeling right now, like this cold wind when you just like run out into the garden. I don't know, like when it's winter time, when you're wearing nothing but like this dress, and it's so exhilarating, even though it's something so as simple as running out. Like, you know, nobody really expects you to run out in the winter time into the snow with just a dress on. You're supposed to put on the jacket and everything, but you do it, and you feel so like, you feel the coldness touch your skin, and you feel like your lungs breathe in that sharpness in the air, and that's like a different type of feeling alive. And I feel like that's what you're in for. That's what you're in for, as long as you just take confidence in the fact that there's a part of you that knows what's right. Like, take that leap of faith into yourself, because it's there. It's girl, it's there. And yeah, like, as long as you trust yourself to hold yourself when you fall. I don't know if I'm getting the sentences like messy, but as long as you trust that you will hold yourself when you fall, you can't even fall. It doesn't matter anymore, like, because you're held by yourself, and you have been picking yourself up. Just recognize the part of you that's picking yourself up. Recognize the part of you that's been patient with you, and then merge that part of you with the more like conscious, aware, like part that you're currently giving attention to. Like, merge all parts of you so you can feel constantly held by yourself, so you can feel that patience just giving you so much strength. I'm gonna take like one last card for you with this The Universe Has Your Back Oracle deck. So yeah, let's see what do we have for pile 3. What final... Okay, we have a lot of cards. I'm gonna shuffle again because let's see if we can get one card for you guys. Whew. What do we have for... Okay. Happiness is my birthright. Yeah. Oh my god, this is like you're taking such a stand and you're like, I deserve to be happy. I deserve to feel happy in a way that is authentic to my being. That is my birthright. It's in my existence. It's in my veins. And this joy that I know I have yet to experience, it is my birthright. I love this. This is such a powerful energy. Like yellow is also making me think of like the solar plexus, and it's like a very strong like I am, like you know who you are. So this is coming for you. You are gonna have a time that you really feel confident with who you are, where you feel like very sure about what you stand for and what your passions are and what you want to move towards. So take that leap of faith because this is coming. This is beautiful. You have a beautiful, beautiful future, and that should give you so much confidence. Like trust that you're gonna be there when you look for yourself. That is all I have for you guys, my pile 3s. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for letting me read for you. I loved this reading so much. This is such a beautiful, gorgeous energy, and I'm sending you so much strength. Like this video if it resonated with you, and subscribe if you'd like to see more. I will see you in my next one. Bye bye.